that this is not al-Islam. Oh, I'm going back to the Philosophical Research Society. It's on Felix, I think it's on Felix Road or whatever. I have to check it. But that's a place where I told you I'm a part of different houses of thought, and that's where a lot of Negro, Black, and color, and a lot of European Masons go. And it's a library. It's a theosophical library there called the Philosophical Research Society, and I'm a part of that elite group. And so I go there and I do teachings, especially to my brothers that thought that they were Masons, and I bring them out that shallow grave, and I show them that the copied them, and I show them that their rule that they're under is garbage. No disrespect to no one, but I just like to show brothers who we are and how we've been tricked and played, and how we've been connotated to think everything is not about us and everything is about you. All the science is about you, Moors. So I want that to be clear as day. So I'm not even going to be long. Let me jump into this and I'm done. Because I told Moors, when you're late, you're just late. And that's what happens. That's why all the teaching when school starts is going to be previously recorded. And I'm going to send it to everybody email. Because Negroes can't be on time for nothing. And even Moors, they'll never be on time. If time was the essence of our life, we'll all be dead. The majority of us. Because most of us, we show 5 minutes late. We never on time. Moors be like, oh, he said 8 o'clock. And you show up at 8:10, 8:15, 8:30. You show up right at 8 o'clock. That's why I say we're not conscious on things, but I guarantee you, when Power come on or when them shows come on, you at home early. I know Moors that take days off to watch Power. Just like I know Moors take days off of their life to watch the damn Super Bowl, a freaking game. And that's how they programmed us. They programmed us to play. And Negroes are not serious. They're not serious on what they say they conscious, but when it's kind for entertainment, you serious. And that's what I be saying. I know real Moors when I see them, because I see where you spend your finances and I see where you serious at. And most Moors are not serious with their nationality and spirituality and their finances. Period. Because we make excuses all day. So I'm just gonna break some quick science down and I'm gone. But I told y'all over and over and over that Moorish science is not no al-Islam. When I say Allah, I'm talking about arm, leg, arm, head, manifestation of man. When I say Islam and Moorish science, I'm talking about I, self, law, and master. In Moorish science, God and man is one. If you don't understand that, then that's true shirk. In Moorish science, there's nothing outside of ourself. In Moorish science, there's nothing outside of ourself. I told y'all that. So like I be saying, Moors, if our life depended on us being on time, most of the Moors would be dead. When I be telling Moors, what if the science, they say, okay, the lectures, whatever, start at 8 o'clock, or your inheritance is going to be delivered to you at 8 o'clock sharp, and then we show up at 8:10, 8:15. You lost your inheritance. Because I tell Moors, we must be, one thing we don't have a lot of is time. And time is valuable. That's why I said I know who's serious. Like when February 9th start, all my teachings is going strictly to students, and it will be recorded. All these public stuff that I'm doing right now, it's over. And I'm only letting Moors know, because a lot of Moors be like, oh, no, you're going to stop? Absolutely. Because I'm a teacher, because I'm giving more science, and I'm trying to court y'all to be students and try to condition us to get back to who we are, and we steady playing. And we steady want to spend our money on garbage. And we're not totally conscious. You're not totally conscious until you educate yourself, until you understand, until you covenant with the right Moors. And that's why I tell Moors, time. If your life, if your inheritance was based on time, most Moors would be dead. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Be serious about what we doing. So this is what I tell Moors. Did our prophet or any upright man that was teaching more science, or did any holy book tell you that you need to learn a different language for righteousness? Yes or no? Because we're gonna check all this false teachings and all this al-Islam and all this religious garbage. In Moorish science, God and man is one. Arm, leg, arm, head, manifestation of yourself. I, self, law, and master, manifestation of self. If you don't understand that, that's true shirk. Tasawwuf, Sufis, Islamism, God and man is one. Come on, man. Did our prophet or any prophet or any holy book tell us Moors that we need to learn a different language for righteousness? Yes or no? Yes or no? Did our prophet or any holy book tell us that we need to learn a different language for righteousness? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Absolutely not. And any more y'all out of pocket going around telling Moors you need to learn a different language. For what? That's good if you learn a different language. You learn a different language. But you learn a different language don't have nothing to do with you righteous or not. You can know 50 million languages and you can still be a fool and operating as a Negro, black, and colored. I know a lot of guys that's in prison right now that can quote any holy book because they got time on their hand, but they don't, and speak different language, but they'll kill you. That don't mean nothing. And you let somebody tell you got to learn different language for righteousness. If you learn different languages, that's great. That means you are linguistic. So before you can even teach somebody the message and you coming in a different language, you got to teach them the language that you were being spoken to. So how somebody going to understand the message that you delivering to them and they don't even understand the language that you talking about? Huh? How's somebody going to come to you and strip you from your language and tell you that you need to learn this different language? Come on, man. A prophet come in the voice of the people. Why? So you won't be confused with the message that the prophet is delivering. Y'all know that. Somebody give me Proverbs 29 and 19. Read that real fast before we jump into this teaching. Read that real fast. Y'all tripping. Read, somebody put Proverbs 29 and 18. Somebody put that on there before we get into this teaching, because I think y'all got this twisted. Like this just some old goofy stuff. I told y'all I'm a noble. I'm an adapt. I'm a sheik. I'm a scholar. I do peer-reviewed scholarly research. I ain't hearing your feelings. I ain't no religious Moor. I understand the essence of all religions. So where we don't miss the science of any of them. But I don't gravitate to no religious creed, and you don't either. Somebody give me Proverbs 29 and 18 real fast before we finish this, for you can know. Post that on there, real fast. Come on, man. Come on, time is of the essence. I only got a little bit of time, man. Y'all should be swift with this, man. I got to teach Moors. I told you, I'm going to teach y'all how to study. I'm going to teach you how to do real research. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keeps the law, happy is he. So then I asked Moors, what's the law? The law is on the bottom of the Liberty Veil. Leviticus 25 and 10. When it talks about your nationality and your spirituality. You see? That's why I said I'm happy at all times, because I know the law and I can defend it. I know all my degrees. I know my signs and symbols. Standing on your square and just standing with your feet out. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. That's why I'm always happy. That's why you see me smiling, talking surely, talking boldly. Because I keep the law. I honor my foremothers and my forefathers. I wear my fez. I'm not no Negro, black, and colored. This fez is our national headdress. We wear it proudly. That's the only thing that a person that'll see you in the daytime and distinct you from a Negro, black, or colored. Your fez. If they looking at you and they looking at somebody else because you got a shirt on and you got a dashiki on, that don't mean nothing. When they see that fez, they know. They know. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. What law y'all thinking he talking about? Them religious Negroes and my Hebrew Israelites, y'all talking about some religious stuff. And I'm like, man, you missing the point. You missing the point. You missing the point. You still only a 3/5 if you don't got the complete 5, your nationality, your spirituality. You still a slave. You just a religious slave if you're not claiming your nationality. I mean, it's just what it is. So let's dig in this, and I'm done, because I did this earlier. And one of my nobles, he sent me a donation because he was like, man, would you please do this live for all these religious Moors out here that's acting like some Al-Islam that's under this Arab stuff, dyeing their beards red and all this, under this bull crap. And I said, that is not Moorish science, because that is not Al-Islam. And they know that. This is American Islam. Y'all should know that. Y'all should know that off top. You shouldn't even be confused. You shouldn't let no religious person get you with that. Oh, I go to the mosque with the imams. That ain't Moorish science. They ain't teaching you from your Quran. They teaching you religion. They teaching you religion. And if they tell the truth, if the Muhammad they talking about was under the Byzantine Empire during that time. And who was his wife? Khadijah. Who was Khadijah's cousin? Weragral, a high Roman priestess. I'm telling y'all, when I show y'all the holy book, Gad and the Seer, and I show y'all the replacement theology, you have no idea. You have no idea, Moors, especially these religious Al-Islam Moors coming around with that garbage. Yeah, Tasawwuf is Sufi. Tasawwuf is Sufi. But if when we teaching, we taught the esoteric and the exo. That's why I tell Moors when they say, well, what's above is below. I'm like, what's above is below. Well, break the eso and the exo down. Break down the Kabbalah. They can't do it. They don't even know word phrase. Break down gematria. They can't do it because you're not a noble. You're not adept. Because if they was a noble, when I speak of the Baphomet, they'll know off top that that's written Kabbalistically, and that represents you. I told you, all animal figures are nothing but pious hieroglyphs. And if you don't understand that, you not no adapt. You just a religious Negro. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And after February 9th, I'm not here for the General Moore. I'm not here for you no more. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your sheik. I'm not your Abba. I'm not your Magi. I'm not going to be doing public teachings to nobody. I'm not going to be answering anybody questions. I'm only here for my students and my members. That's it. I don't have to save the world. I save the world that I'm in and the people that's with me. Everybody else, I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with walking past a Negro that think they know something. Don't have no problem with it. I don't have no problem with it. Period. You want to operate under your own understanding, and you don't want to covenant with the right, and you want to be stingy with yourself with them alligator arms, and don't want to use your finances to build and teach your children and learn and build with Moors. I'm not for you. So when we talk about the color of one's skin, it always been irrelevant to religion. Always. It's in the biblical scriptures. It tell you this. It tell you this. One of my nobles was like, man, are you serious? Yeah, noble. February 9th, I'm not here for every more. I told you I'm a student. I'm a Buddha. I'm a teacher. I need students and members. My duty is not to teach the world. My duty is to deal with those that want to be educated on certain things and educate their children and understand their nationality and spirituality. I created a school to where you can send donations in and be a real student and get books and get literature and get your feds. I am not for the whole world. That is not my job. That is not my job. I told you I'm a teacher. I'm a Buddha. Could you go somewhere and learn some of this and just sit in class and say, oh, I want to learn this? They can be like, you're not a student. You ain't dedicated your time and your resources to be part of this. And that's what I'll be telling more is I don't have time for it, man. But color has always been irrelevant in religion. That's why a lot of these religious Negro Moors fall under that Al-Islam and that Arab stuff. You know? And they've been trying to convince African Americans, Moors, and Moorish citizens that Al-Islam is the religion of the black man. That Islam is the African and that Muhammad was black. But we're talking about what most the average Moor have. I ain't talking about the ancient texts I got. I'm coming from what most average Negro, black and color have, and these religious Moors that call themselves some Al-Islam and some religious Moors under this Arab stuff. That ain't American Islam. Point blank, and y'all know it. How you doing? How can we help you today? 1 second.
We need a black bow tie.
Oh, let's see. Do I got any more? Oh, I do. It come with the pocket square there, $29.99.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's what you need?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was easy.
Yes.
Yep. In time. Got 30 minutes left, and I'm out of here. I'm running out of here, too. How your day been going today?
It's been good.
What you got coming up with the black bow tie for the event?
Yeah, winter ball.
Oh, the winter formal?
Yes, that one.
Oh, right. Like, yep, that's it. All right. With tax, you're looking at $32.60, man. Credit or debit?
That's card. I mean, cash. Sorry.
Okay.
32 what?
$32.60, ma'am. Out of 32. Out of 32.75. Out of 32.60. All right. Even Steven it is.
If I would have brought him with me,
Put your receipt in a small bag, okay, ma'am?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Get in there. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one, ma'am. Yep. All right. So I'm going to finish this up real fast. I'm only 14 minutes in, so y'all good. But remember, I told y'all the pen was changed. And if you understand that the pen was changed, you don't change the Carmen Dayton. You see that the pen was changed and you start tracing history, which I have all the holy books and I show you how the pen was changed all through history. But needless to say, Moors, Muslims only make these claims to blacks. And among whites, they take a different approach. What Muslims? Arab Muslims. I'm telling y'all, When Moors, we always talk about some transatlantic slave trade. Look at the Arab slave trade. When all the Moors always want to assimilate with somebody instead of understanding who you are. That's how the world was created. A nation in a nation. We weren't created to be like somebody. We were created, the laws protect us. That's why the religious rights protect us. Our nationality, our culture, our spirituality. That's why Moors lacking. Knowing that these are well thought out falsifications intended only to draw blacks toward Islam or Moors toward al-Islam. I'm telling you, man. That's why I always give y'all straight facts, no matter if you like it or not, no matter if you like my candor or not. It don't matter. You know? But nothing that I'm giving y'all, I'm trying to separate us. What I'm trying to tell y'all, it's a difference with what we teach. And if we reject or accept Islam, it should be based on Islam's own marriage rather than the color or origin. I'm telling you, because I don't care what color you are if you ain't right, because my brother was killed by a Negro. You think I care about what color you are? That don't have nothing to do with righteousness. I don't give a damn because you have the same you as me. If you ain't right, I ain't dealing with you. I don't care who you are. And I told Moors, like in February 9th, no more will be able to just jump on my page because I won't be doing any teachings like this. It's over. All teachings will go strictly pre-recorded and go to all my members and students because we know Moors just jump around and piggyback. I call them shake weight Negroes. They don't want to learn nothing. They just want to play around and get a little bit of here, get a little bit of there, and then say something. And everything they say be totally damn wrong. Because they operate on their own lower self under religious, connotated, arbitrary explanations of garbage. Africa was not the cradle of no al-Islam. Islam was born in the 7th century in the Arabian Peninsula, which is a part of the continent of Asia. Yellow Asia and Black Africa are separate by the Red Sea. I hope y'all know this. That's why I be laughing at Moors when I'm like, man, you ain't even looking at real maps. You don't even have ancient maps. So what are you talking about? Oh, you on Wikipedia. You don't even have access to the Library of Congress. You don't even study. You don't even have holy books. All you're doing is jumping around. That's why I said I created a school. That's why we have books. Wait till school start, y'all, and I start PDF for y'all all these holy books and all these ancient documents. Gonna blow your mind and your kids' mind. When your kids go back to school the next year, they're gonna be able to write from a historical perspective, history, law, and science, and change the whole perspective. I guarantee you, they teachers gonna be like, "Can I meet your teacher?" I guarantee you, because it happens all the time out here with all my students, especially my elementary and high school students. Their whole life changed. Guarantee you that. But Africa was not the cradle of Islam, Moors, and Islam was born in the 7th century in the Arabian Peninsula, which is part of the continent of Asia. Yellow Asia and Black Africa are separated by the Red Sea. If you don't know geographical landmass, you need to stop talking because you be making yourself look stupid. And I'll be like, man, this dude don't know what he talking about. You just babbling off at the mouth. That's why we're talking about 2 different continents and 2 different people. Islam went to Africa relatively recently, and it's not predominant religion there, not no al-Islam. African Americans per se were most likely either Christians or animist. At that time, they were brought to to America. At that time, I keep telling Moors, you got to understand dispensation and time periods so you won't just be messing stuff up. That's why I tell Moors stay in the context, but Moors don't even know what I be saying when I say context. When I say dispensations, it's different times in history, right? Just like you got the medieval times, you got the Dark Ages, you got the Renaissance. Those are dispensations. Those are different times in history when things was happening, and you can't confuse them. Christianity has been prevalent in Africa since the first half of the 1st century. When I talk about St. Mark, most Moors don't, because y'all always coming from a westernized, Eurocentric, Negro-European perspective, and I'm like, well, the holy books before that, y'all keep talking about some European Council of Nicaea, and I say before that, man, we were the council. What are you talking about? Because Moors don't have holy books. Because you always looking at somebody else as the master and don't understand that the copy copied you. And these is facts. They got all your science locked up in libraries and in museums. But Moors don't study. They just follow goofballs that put on the feds and not giving you no holy books, not giving you science. Well, we showing and prove here. This is more science and education. But St. Mark, the writer of the Gospel of Mark, was a North African Jew who preached the gospel to Egypt. When I talk about the real Jews, the Nigerians, the Igbo and the Igbos of Nigeria, I'm telling you, I give you facts and peer-reviewed scholarly research stuff that I've done on college campuses with professors that we call a college roundtable. And I do this with all professors and all these so-called European Masons, and I put all they light out. Because I know what you're copying. I even played documents of the educational bill, J. Edgar Hoover, and I showed y'all how the Rockefellers, how they just destroy education. And they just made up everything. I'm telling you. From there, Christianity spread all over North Africa and to south of Egypt's borders. And the Eastern Church raised the level of the sainthood of many Africans. When we talk about praying to our saints. Saint Moses, the black from Egypt, and Saint Tekla, the Himano, the Ethiopian, and others. One of the teachers and prophets in the early churches, Simon, was an African from Niger in West Africa, Acts 13:1, especially in the biblical scriptures. When we talk about Haram from Tyre, which is Africa, who killed them, Jubal, and Jubileum, what they had, a Jubilee. We could talk about masonry when they buried Haram Abif in a shallow grave, and you see the Negro, black, and colored Masons and the European Masons. They got the little, lapel pin, talk about in memory of Haram Abif. And then when I ask all my Negro, blacks, and colored that's under that European Masonry, I say, do you know who Haram Abif is? No. Do you know why you don't wear your fez in public? No. One of the teachers and prophets in the early church was Simon, I told y'all. And Eastern Africa was converted to Christianity through the ministry of a cabinet member of who? Queen Candace of Ethiopia, who was baptized by Saint Philip, one of the 7 deacons in the early church. Read Acts 8:26 and 20-40. Acts chapter 8, verse 26 to 40. This is simple, man. Muhammad was not a black man. In their pen, for all my religious Negro Moors, no disrespect, that's under that Al-Islam, that is not more science. You out of pocket when you teaching Al-Islam. I don't give a damn. Well, I go, it ain't no more science temple in my city, so I go with the religious Moors or with the religious Muslims. You go to some damn you go to some temple, some Al-Islam temple, and deal with the imams. That's religion. That's outside of yourself still. That ain't more science. That ain't God and man is one. You still praying to something outside yourself, and you know it. You out of pocket. You out of pocket. You're not connected to God and man as your one when you got some God over you. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. It's the same thing. So the religious Muslim Moor can't say no different from the religious Christian, because both of y'all believe in things outside of yourself. You can't say nothing to the religious Mason Negro neither, because they believe in the same garbage. You're not no more. You're confusing yourself. You're not connected to God. Stop playing. Muhammad was an Asian Arab, and you can't confuse an Asian Arab with the black African. And there are numerous evidence that Muhammad was actually white in the Bukhari Hadith that most of these religious Muslim Moors have. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Most of them don't have it. I have them all. I have a whole library. I have a whole library, and y'all know I'm telling you the truth. That's why I said after February 9th, I'm done. And so wherever the Moors at, where you getting all them false teachings coming back, you can continue to rock with it. Man, it ain't enough room that allow me to mention all the stuff that's in the Bukhari Hadith, where it's dissing your black ass. And then you religious Muslim Moors that always want to assimilate to with somebody instead of teaching your own science, and they dissing you and they laughing at you. In the Al-Bukhari, volume 1, number 63, you can read, while we were sitting with the prophet, a man came and said, who amongst you is Muhammad? We replied, this white man reclining on his arm. In volume 2, hadith number 122, it refers to Muhammad as a white person. In volume 2, hadith number 141, we are told that when Muhammad raised his arms, the whiteness of his armpits became visible. Also in the Bukhari hadith, Muhammad owned black slaves. Muhammad owned several black slaves. Ibn Kim al-Jawizi relies heavily on the prophet's biographies written by great ancient scholars. Therefore, he is regarded by Muslims as the authority, a primary source, and a leader amongst the students of Islamic religion. And this scholar tells us in his book, write it down because he got a book, Zad al-Ma'ad, Z-A-D, lowercase A-L-M-A-AD. I want y'all to research that. Part 1. Page 114 and 116, and this is what he says, and I quote, these are the names of Muhammad male slaves: Yakin, Abu Sar, Afla, Ubaida, Dakwan, Taman, Marwan, Hiyan, Sanad, Fadah, Yaman, and Jasa al-Hadi, Madam, Karka, Abu Rafi, Twabun, Ab Kasha, Salih, Rabia, Yara, Nubian, Fadila, Wahid, Marbur, Abu Wa'id, Qassam, Abu Yaid, Abu Muwahida, Zaid ibn Harith, and also a black slave called Maran. Even in modern times, in so-called Saudi Arabians, the homeland of Islam, the common word for black is ABD, meaning slaves. When y'all be hearing the Arabs say Abib, or they be calling our women Abibi, and all our black women or our Moorish women love dealing with them Arabs, and they saying Abib, they calling your ass a slave. I'm telling you, you don't even know the language. Somebody gonna tell you to learn a foreign language. They calling you a slave. Period. Y'all don't even know about this mess. What was Muhammad's position on freeing the slaves in their books that these Negro, black, and colored so-called Muslims read? Y'all taking up all these foreign books that ain't even talking about you. This is what he said. In one instance, a man freed a slave that he kept as a sexual partner. When Muhammad heard what happened, he auctioned the boy and sold him for 80 dirhams to Nam ibn Abdullah al-Nahim. See it in your Bukhari Hadith, volume 7, page 83. According to Muhammad, the punishment for committing adultery is different between a free man and a free woman and a slave woman. The man is to be flogged 100 stripes and be exiled for 1 year. The free woman must be stoned to death. But the slave woman, listen to this, the slave woman, since she has monetary value, now I'm going to jump back to when I was telling you that Willie Lynch mess is garbage. And when y'all see when, no disrespect to Farrakhan, no disrespect, but I correct garbage. And when they did that Willie Lynch speech at the Million Man March, and I told y'all that damn Willie Lynch speech is garbage. Willie Lynch ain't lynching his chattel, his property. You got to be crazy. The language don't even match up. I told y'all I'm a linguistics. The language don't even match up back then. It been proven that the Willie Lynch letter was garbage. Don't y'all know if it was a real Willie Lynch letter? Don't y'all know that'd be prophetic and scholarship? Come on, man. It ain't no damn Willie Lynch letter. That's propaganda. That's Eurocentric, Negrocentric propaganda. And I'm telling you from scholarship. Point blank. But the slave woman, since she has a monetary value, will not be exiled or killed. She is to be flogged 100 stripes. If the violation is repeated, the slave woman is to be sold. That's in your Al-Bukhari, volume 8, page 821 and 822. I'm telling you. Islam also looked down on blacks. The what Islam? That Al-Islam garbage. I'm telling you, Islam is a religion whose sacred scriptures contain explicit, degenerating remarks about black people. The sacred scriptures, which most Negroes don't have, and most religious Negroes don't have. I'm telling you, they keep that away from you, but I have them. Muhammad referred to as blacks as raisin heads. Research that in your Al-Bukhari, volume 1, number 662, and volume 9, number 256. And then you more talk about, well, raisin heads don't mean nothing bad. Negro, let me call you a raisin head. You would be ready to fight. Let me step on one of y'all shoes, you'd be ready to fight. In the Bukhari Hadith, in the ancient text, they called your black butt a damn raisin head. Point blank. In another Hadith, Muhammad is quoted as saying that blacks are pug-nosed slaves. That's in the Sihah of Muslim, volume 9, pages 46 and 47. So here are two instances Muhammad referred to as blacks as raisin heads. And then in another hadith, Muhammad is quoted as saying that blacks are pug-nosed slaves. But this what y'all rock with, huh? But this what these religious Moors rock with. Garbage. I told you I'd destroy all that garbage. Islam is not the heaven of freedom and equality. Even if we wrongly assume that Islam started in Africa and that its prophets was a black man, it still wouldn't in itself be a good enough reason for blacks or for Moors to adopt it if it's not right, if it's not righteous. We operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Nor would it be a good reason for whites to adopt Islam just because Muhammad was white. We have to look at Islam itself and the tenets. And I wouldn't want to be a Muslim just because Islam is anti-freedom, which is one issue so close to the hearts and mind of African Americans, considering the inequities that they have suffered in the past. And one thing Islam does not believe is in freedom of religion. That Islam does not believe in freedom of religion, and y'all know it. If Islam takes over America, there would be a choice. There wouldn't be a choice of religion. It wouldn't be a choice of religion. You know, It wouldn't be a choice of religion if Al-Islam took over the name of religion. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. The Quran states, and I quote, if anyone desires a religion other than Islam, listen to me, never will it be accepted of him. And in the hereafter, he will be in the ranks of those who have lost. See, this in your surah, chapter 3, verse 85. This the crap. This the crap. They ain't gonna read it to you, but I'm gonna read it to you. That's why I be laughing at all these religions. Y'all be talking about the Christian that might not know. And I say, man, you just the same. You even worse. Because you lying to yourself. Many of the teachings of Islam are incompatible with progress. Neither are they compatible with human rights, civil rights, or constitutional rights. Because human rights, all that stuff fall under it. Civil rights, constitutional rights, all that fall under human rights. Here go a few examples of what the teaching of Islam, that Al-Islam crap. And then I'm done. Men are superior to women. That's in your Surah 2 and 22. Women have half the rights of men. Do you hear that? Women have half the rights of men. That sounds like some slavery, 3/5 chattel stuff. In court witness, Surah 2:282. In inheritance, Surah 4:11. A man may beat his wife. And they talk about, he don't mean beat. He mean beat him, talking to him right. Shut up, you lying, man. A man may beat his wife. Y'all get that from that Arab stuff. Surah 4 and 34. And our prophet tell us, Moorish, talk kind to your wives. A man may marry up to 4 wives at the same time. For what? Surah 4 and 3. Muslim must fight until their opponent submit to Islam. Muslim must fight until their opponent submits to Islam. Surah 9 and 29. A Muslim must not take a Jew or a Christian for a friend. Surah 5:51. I got a problem with that right there. Because we are the original Jews. We are the original Christians. If you look in it, I told y'all, if you look on the hieroglyphs in Egypt, you had 2 Hebrew pharaohs, Sibakos and Sabakos. And in the Egyptian hieroglyphs, you got the Coptic cross. You got to understand that we taught monotheism. So what you talking about? It says that a Muslim must not take a Jew or a Christian for a friend. And we are the original Jews. We are the original Christ-like. Come on, man. A Muslim apostate must be killed. Surah 9 and 12. Adultery is punished by public flogging. No separation between church and state. No opposition party allowed. Come on, man. You see that? Muslims, the Al-Islam Muslim staff, they do not care for your nationality. They are only using that to gain control over you. And for if Muslims really care for it, Africans and your Moorish nationality, why are African Muslims kidnapping their so-called brothers these days in Sudan right now, butchering the weak and selling the healthy as slaves? It's happening right now all in the continent of Africa, where you got these Arabs selling you, and you gonna talk about you going to pray with these people that's killing you still, but you won't be with your brother and teach and build, which the laws protect us. That's why I said we a joke. We a joke, man. And most Moors, all they want to do is assimilate. A joke. And our prophet brought something back to us. I'm done. I told y'all I don't even take that long all the time. I'm done, man. I'm done. I told y'all it's a great day and a sad day to be a Moorish American, because it's too many Moors that's caught up in garbage. It's too many Moors that's afraid to wear their fez, and all they do is post catchphrases. If we just strip the Moors from their fez and the turbans. And I say, well, that's in the Constitution. Well, if that's a valid, and your fez and your turban is your national headdress, why are you afraid to wear it? I have fezzes and I have turbans. I have the self-tie turbans, and I have the turban that you can just put over your head after you wrap your head the right way. And I have the self-tie ones. I love y'all, man. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. School getting ready to start February 9th. After that, no more public lectures on here. No more teaching. I might just be on there saying, what's up, Morris? You know, ride down the street, give y'all a little motivation. Sunday, I'm going to give y'all Sunday school. That's it. No Quranic studies, no history, no business, no civics, none of that. All for students. Islam.